What is going on tonight? This is JD coming to another video from Wrestling Trend. Hail to the Redskins. Before we get started, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel, like this video, all the good stuff. Today I'm going to be talking about a few things. So the first thing I want to talk about is the dropping of Norman and getting rid of Paul Richardson. Okay. Now, there are a few reasons why. I thought we were going to get rid of Norman when his productivity was down. His contract was too much. I won't say very cheap, but it's cheap to get rid of him, so to speak. We save ourselves a decent amount of money by getting rid of him. So, Josh Norman, I just don't think our scheme has ever fit him properly. He's more of a zone corner. He can't cover, and his pass rating against him is like 120 something, which is like very bad. It's one of the worst in the league. We had younger corners. We should have played more this year. And I thought we should have got rid of him this year, not wait, and we could have traded him to a team that needed him, whatever. Now we cut him, and we have to pay. We paid him this year, and we paid him a little bit coming in this season just to get rid of him. We have dead cap space, so I think that was the decision I was going with anyway. If you watched any of my previous videos, I've been predicting that since the season ended. Probably since last season, really. The one that surprised me a little bit, and it didn't surprise me too much. I did say that I think they're going to do this, but I made my reasons as to why I wouldn't personally if I was a GM. And that's getting rid of Paul Richardson. The reason why I didn't want to get rid of Paul Richardson is it's not that I didn't want to get rid of him. Let me rephrase this. It's he's owed like $8 million. And we cut him, and we still owe him $6 million. We only save about $2 million. So it's not really saving us anything. And we basically got to pay $6 million to get rid of somebody. When we could have easily just, kept the guy for $2 million more and seen if he actually could be productive this year. He could help blow the top off of defense. But I understand why we got rid of him. He just hasn't been productive. He's basically been paid $16 million to do nothing. He'll probably go back to Seattle, whatever the case may be. So what I'm going to do, the primary part of this video, is I did this last season. I'm going to do it again, and this will probably be my last video unless other news comes out, and I'll just talk about that as it happens. Is if I'm the GM, what do I do right now? What do I do to have that 1 year turnaround? Last year we didn't do anything here close to what I suggested, but I'm going to go over what I think we need to do. So I'm going to talk about it, and I'm actually going to do it monetarily and look over the money situation that we have. The Washington Redskins have, So the first thing I think the Redskins need to do is if he's healthy, and I love Alex Smith, he's one of my favorite players, we got to trade Alex Smith. By trading him, I think we save ourselves, I think it's $21 million if we trade him. Let me look at that real quick. There's $16 million dead cap, and we still put some money back in our pocket. So if we do that, yeah, it puts another $5 million. Right now, before we do any of these things, we have $52 million in salary cap space. $52 million. Okay? So if we can do nothing, we still have $52 million. We can invest in $10 million in 5 positions, okay? And I do recommend, this is something I believe personally, you should spend every dollar of the cap space because it doesn't roll over to the next season, okay? I wish it did. It'd be cool. Like this year, we didn't spend all of it. Wish it'd roll over to the next season. But if we can trade Alex Smith, because he's just taking up a lot of money on our depth chart, and if we cut him, it actually costs us money. So this is why we have to trade him or nothing. Okay, so if we cut him, it costs more money than if we trade him. If we trade him, it only costs us $16 million. If we cut him, it's like $32 million. So this makes sense to just trade him if we can. Apparently, the Bears have been looking for a quarterback. I don't know if there's any other teams out there have been looking for a quarterback. Maybe San Diego might want a quarterback for a year or two while they draft somebody. That might be a possibility. And let's just say the Redskins do that, and the Redskins make, they get a draft pick back. They get a third-round pick. They get a second-round pick. Those are things that we can use to build the team up right now. And I don't want to get rid of Alex Smith. I actually like the guy. I wish he'd be part of our offense. I wish he'd be something like a GM-type role on our team. The problem is he wants to play. And maybe if we buy out his contract, that would help. I don't know. I don't know the rules about that. I know if we cut him, what it costs, and if we trade him, what it costs, so on and so forth. If we trade him, all we own basically is guaranteed money this year. If we cut him, we own guaranteed money he has left on his contract. So that's where we're at with that. So with Trent Williams, if we cut Trent Williams, we save ourselves about $12 million. Okay? If we trade Trent Williams, it's the same exact thing. So cut or trade, it's roughly $12 million that we can save. So I say trade Trent Williams. Now here is what I'm going to show people. I'm going to tell people. Okay? I'm not saying I'm sick of this. I'm tired of hearing it. That people want Trent Williams to be extended. They want him to get more money this year. I've heard a lot of people say that they need to give Trent Williams more money this year. I gotta say this, and I apologize if this language is not appropriate for some people. Fuck Trent Williams. That's all I have to say about Trent Williams. Fuck him. Okay? He made all last season about him. Okay? I understand he had a medical issue. He should have still done his due diligence. He said fuck you to the team. He said fuck you to his teammates. Fuck you to the coaches. Fuck you to the head coach. Fuck you to the owner. All because he had a grudge against one trainer, the training staff, and the GM. He said fuck you to the fans by not showing up, not playing. And the Redskins, and this is the thing about a lot of fans don't understand. You want to reward that kind of behavior by giving him more money because he sat out a year. That's just going to encourage more people to do the same exact thing. More players are going to sit out when they don't get their way. Just like Trent Williams, if when he comes back, the Redskins want to give him more money. And fans want him to get paid more money. No. He needs to be gone. He is a problem. We don't have a winning record with him on the field. I don't know why everyone wants him on the field so bad. We don't have a winning record with him. We win better. We do better with him off the field than on the field. Okay? He bailed on his teammates. Okay, guys that are in the trenches with him, fighting in the weight room every day with him. He bailed on the coaching staff. Probably got Jay Gruden fired. I might be part of it. It's probably more reasons than just him, but he got a coach fired. Okay, and the only positive you can say out of this is he got Bruce Allen fired. But Bruce Allen's going to get himself fired regardless. That wouldn't have mattered. He should have played, and after every game, come out and say he hates Bruce Allen. What are they going to do? Fine him? They're going to fine him. They're going to give him his money back because he ended up getting Bruce Allen ended up getting fired anyway. You cannot reward that kind of behavior and those kind of actions by giving someone more money. He needs to be traded. He needs to be out of the Washington Redskins locker room. Get a draft pick. Let's draft someone that we can play for the next 3 or 4 years or next 10 years, and get rid of this old guy while he has value. Okay, I'm sorry about the language I just used, but fuck Trent Williams. He needs to be gone and out of the Redskins organization. I'm tired of hearing about him. I'm tired of people saying like, "Oh, we just need to give him more money, he'll stay." No, he should have been playing last year. If he'd have played last year, been healthy, then he was warranted more money. If he'd have played last year and he played most of the games a little bit banged up, then maybe he's warranted more money. But he's not. He didn't play at all. He didn't do his job. Okay, and now he wants more money for doing nothing. It's not really going to encourage a lot of. Not to mention, we'd save so much money by trading. We save money, cap space, and we could get a draft pick or 2 or 3 or 4, whatever. And those are more valuable right now to me than a 30-some-year-old tackle who held the franchise basically hostage last year. So, moving on from that, Ryan Kerrigan. I still say I'm going to do it monetarily, but I'm going to go over everything. This is what the Redskins need to do. Trade Alex Smith. Don't cut him. If you can't cut him, if you can't trade him, you can't trade him. Maybe he'll retire. But trade Alex Smith. Okay. Trade Trent Williams or cut him. Get rid of him. At the very least, get $12 million on our books. Okay? So if we were to trade, submit. So by trading those two players, we are up to $69 million. Okay? Kerrigan, I think Kerrigan needs a restructure where I think his base pay should be $5 million. 2, 3. And his roster bonus is another just 5, or yeah, that's fine. At the most, I'd say give him 8. Give him about 6 to 8 million. But he's not worth the $5 million that he's wanting this year by any stretch of the imagination. So by doing that, By doing that, we're still up to. So by doing that, we're up to $69 million. So almost $70 million. I cut Jordan Reed, cut Morgan Moses. By cutting those two, we get up to $81 million. I will say this: we need to sign Quentin Dunbar to an extension. His issue is, I don't think his issue is with the Redskins. I think it's just he just wants guaranteed money. He doesn't know where he stands with the coach, so on and so forth. So I think doing both of those things by cutting Jordan Reed, I'm not gonna worry about it right now. I'll show you that here in a minute. But yeah. So this is what I think the Redskins need to do going forward. Need to trade 2 players or cut one. Okay, trade Alex Smith if he's healthy. Trade him. See if anyone wants him. He has success where he goes. I don't want to. I actually like the guy, but I'm just saying this is what it is. Okay. Cut or trade Trent Williams. I don't give a damn which one. I'd rather trade them and get some draft picks, but cut or trade them. Okay, so Ryan Kerrigan, and I need to fix this. For some reason, it's saying, is that what I'm saving or what I'm spending? I don't know. It's being very weird. I'm trying to add. I know by restructuring Kerrigan's contract, you can save money, but for some reason, it's not letting me do it. I guess I'll figure out why here whenever I get to my next segment. And then cut Jordan Reed, just cut him. Cut Morgan Moses, just cut him. I personally don't like Morgan Moses. He's a holding call, and he has no accountability. I can't stand this guy. I listen to him on the radio, and he'll say like he gets called for holding and never holds. Okay, you're doing something. So instead of telling the fans to go watch game film, how about you watch game film, see what you're doing wrong, rather than saying that not having any accountability for what you're doing wrong in any situation. I can't stand that about Morgan Moses. I hear him on the Junkies all the time, calling out referees and saying he never does stuff wrong. Well, you're false starting. That's you. You're holding. That's you. Okay? No one else's fault but yours. But for some reason, you think it's everyone else. You can blame everyone else and not have any accountability whatsoever. Pisses me off, and I can't stand that about Morgan Moses. So get him out of the locker room. Anyone else on this roster, I think the Redskins need to get rid of. No one else in this roster, I would get maybe Adrian Peterson, but a lot of people really seem to like him, so I'm not going to touch that conversation. Yeah, so that is what the Redskins need to do with our, our cap space, and then also, and again, I'm going to go over this really quickly in a video. It's going to take about 3 minutes. It'll be a little segment here. And I'm going to go over what we need to do. I'm going to go in this scenario. I'm going to not re-sign Brandon Sheriff. He has not played a lot of games the last 2 years. In fact, I'm going to look up how many games he's actually played the last few years, because I don't think he's played that many games. 2019, he played 11 games, and I honestly, he didn't have a good year. If I'm being honest, he did not have a good year. Okay, what year was that? 2018, he played eight games. 2017, he played 14, so that's actually a pretty good year. 2016, played 16. But the last couple years, he just has not been durable at all. He hasn't been durable whatsoever. So, let's see here. Yeah, so 2018 he played 8. Last year he played 11. I just don't think he's been durable enough to warrant spending $16 million on him. That's what he would cost if we franchise tagged him. Now, here's someone I do want to spend money on, because one, I think he actually wouldn't cost too much. I think we might be able to get a small discount on him. Is extend Eric Flowers. So without any other moves, we have $81 million in salary cap. I think Eric Flowers could be a 3-year deal with about not 820,000. He'll make more than that. So 6.5 or 6,005. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So 6.5 million, and he'll get that. I'm just doing a very generic one. It'll probably be more incentivized stuff on there, but 6.5 million. So that leaves the Redskins with about $75 million in cap space. Okay, which we can use that in free agency. So I'm gonna actually flip over to this real quick and let you guys see the breakdown of all that stuff. You'll see what I'm talking about when it comes to the Ryan Kerrigan stuff. It doesn't really cut money out of anything. It just shows what we're supposed to be spending is a certain amount of money. Maybe by a certain point we have to cut Ryan Kerrigan. I don't know. But I'm going to flip over to that really quick. So here you go. What is going on, Internet? So here we go. This is the part of the video I was telling you about. So right now the Redskins have
$52 million in cap space. That's with a projected cap of $211 million for this season. Okay, so that's not taking into account the guys they have to cut before the final 51 or whatever the number is. So like I said, okay, so if you're looking at the number right here, 52 million, okay, 52,931,000. If we trade Alex Smith, that jumps up because we save ourselves $5 million. Okay, we still have to pay him $60 million because that's the money he's guaranteed. Okay, but if here's the thing: if we cut him, it costs us money, so we have to pay all the money we owe him. Okay, so trading him is the best idea. If somehow he can retire and save us a boatload of cash, that'd be even better. That is a lot of money in the next 2 years. But anyway, regardless, so 16.2 million is what we'd spend, but we'd save ourselves about $5 million. So that said, and let's say we trade away Trent Williams. It's the same number whether you trade him or cut him. So if I cut him, it's the same number. So the outcome's still the same. I like trading the guy because I think he does have trade value. Because I think there's teams out there that could use a left tackle. He is good when he's healthy. I'm not saying that. It's just I've listed my reasons as to why I think the Redskins, from a fundamental standpoint, should sign him or anything. So if we just cut Ryan Kerrigan, it gives us another $11 million. Okay, I'm not going to do it on here because, like I said, it kept screwing up. It kept adding up the amount that we. It kept adding up the amount. If it's restructured, I'm going to try to restructure it one more time and see if it actually works properly. So, how much do you want to restructure? Okay, so 5 million. And the roster bonus is 300,000. Let's see if that works properly. Okay, well, I'm just not going to worry about it. That's probably why. It says a minimum 10 million, so I'm just not going to do it. I'm just going to say we cut him. Let's just hypothetically say we cut Ryan Kerrigan, and then we can re-sign him back for 5 million. Okay? So we cut him. That's $80 million, and then if we cut Jordan Reed and Morgan Moses, we get ourselves up to $93 million. That might be the most cap space the Redskins have ever accumulated in one draft. Okay? So that's pretty much, I just wanted to show, like, numerically, that's what it would get up to. So we would literally have $93 million in cap space. Now, we also have to look at what the Redskins need. Quarterback, we're pretty much good. We'll probably get one in free agency, or we might draft one late in the draft. Okay? I'm going to go over that in a second, but I want to show this. So, I mean, I wouldn't mind giving Case Keenum like a 3-year contract, like a $3 million contract just to be a backup. But I don't think that's what he's going to want, honestly. Like I said, I do not want a franchise tag Sheriff. Here's why. I'm going to click on franchise tag Sheriff, and here's why. If Brandon Sheriff's franchise tag, the number is $16 million. And I don't want to spend that much on Brandon Sheriff because I don't trust his durability. Not to mention, I think by the time this season's over coming up, he'll be 29 years old, and if we go to extend him beyond that, I think it's just too much. So I do think we should give Eric Flowers a contract, 3-year deal, $6.5 million, and do that every year. Just giving a rough number. He might sign for less. He might sign for more. I don't know what he get on open market, but that's what I would do. So by just the moves that I've mentioned, okay. And again, I would sign Ryan Kerrigan to about another $5 million. So let's just say we have $80 million. We get Ryan Kerrigan. Let's say he costs us about $7 million exactly. So now we have $80 million in cap space. The next part of the video, I'm going to go over what I think the Redskins need to do in the draft to give themselves the best possible chance, to turn the team around in 1 year. I think getting rid of these dead weight players and we've already got rid of 2 dead weight players by getting rid of Reed and Moses. I think Kerrigan would be helpful in this now. We're playing a 4-3. If he just plays a down lineman, I think he'd be a lot more effective than if he was playing a linebacker like we had him playing before. I think that'd be so much more effective. We can just throw waves after waves of defensive linemen at teams and really wear them down. I think Alex Smith, trading him makes sense. He's not going to play for the Redskins. We have a quarterback. Having a backup quarterback making $16 million plus a year is not smart in my opinion. And then Trent Williams, it's a culture thing for me. I would honestly sign Donald Penn to another year before I would mess around with that. There's a couple guys on here I wouldn't mind giving a small contract to, like Nate Orchard, Trayvon Hester. I think that's the tight end that how much would that cost the Washington Redskins? I'm not gonna mess with that. But I think that's the tight end I've always been talking about, Hester. And Caleb Brantley, but he hasn't been healthy. But other than that, that's all. I'm not going to worry about anyone else. I'm not Paul Richardson, Josh Norman gone for a reason. Case Keenum, wouldn't mind re-signing him, but I'm not going to worry about a quarterback. I would rather just draft one and go with the young Haskins. So that's this part of the video. Now I'm going to jump over right here to free agency, and I'm going to look over. I have a bunch of things open in free agency where we can kind of keep track and look over what we have in free agency. So what I think the Redskins need, if we look over our roster, okay, the Washington Redskins have quarterback in Haskins, so we don't have to worry about quarterback. We might have to get like an old veteran for like $2 or $3 million, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'm just going to go after the big stuff. So that's one thing. Two, running backs are fine. I think we might draft one as well, but we have Geis, we have Peterson, we have Bryce Love. So I think we're fine on running back, and we're probably going to draft another one. So I don't think that's going to be an issue. We can get a late round running back, and it would still be effective. Receiving core, I like our receiving core. I don't think we need to sign a receiver, because if we sign a receiver, he might cost a decent amount of money that I don't want to spend. Okay, just being honest. Okay, I'll go over that in the video to see what's available to us here in a minute, but I just don't think that's what we need. Tight end, we need 2 tight ends. One in free agency, we need to draft a tight end. I want to draft a young, athletic tight end that can be with us for the next 4 or 5 years, or at least 5 or 10 years, hopefully. Left tackle, we don't have a left tackle. We need to draft one or sign one. Left guard, Eric Flowers. Center, Chase Roulier, and we have a backup center in Pierce Brocker and Wes Martin, and then Wes Martin and Pierce Brocker play right guard. I will look at right guard, see if we have any decent options. Right tackle right now is Jerron Christian. I'm going to look at an option to replace him as well. Okay. Defense. The entire defensive line is fine. We're going to draft Chase Young. It's gonna happen. I want to clear up something too. I did not say in any way, shape, or form that Chase Young was overrated or anything like that. I did a video earlier this year where I said if Chase Young, if we don't get anything, let's say we get nothing in free agency, trading Chase Young made sense because we have to fill a lot of roster spots. And we don't have, and that is the most valuable thing we have is that pick for the 2nd overall pick. Okay? The best case scenario for the Redskins is they trade the pick to the Lions, and they can get the Lions pick and still get Chase Young, and we're able to accumulate another 2nd round pick or whatever case may be. That's the best case scenario. The best case scenario really is to trade with the Dolphins to get like 4 picks, and then Chase Young fall to number 5. That'd be the best case scenario, but you can't rely on that. You can't rely on that. Someone's going to go after Tua, and I'm pretty sure that either the Giants or the Lions would probably just take Chase Young if he was available. So I don't think the Redskins are going to do that, but that would be the best case scenario for the Redskins to do. So that's what I would do. And I also think that the trading other guys would give you more picks this year in the draft. So, but I'm going to go ahead and go over a bunch of positions. And then what we really need is a cornerback. We have Quentin Dunbar. We have Jimmy Moreland. I think what we're going to do is we need another cornerback, and Jimmy Moreland will be put in the slot. And then we also need to grab another safety, a free safety. But here we go. So let's look over receivers. All of them that are available. So obviously AJ Green is available. His market value is what I'm afraid of. $9 million. It's not horrible. Okay. And if we're going off of this right now, the Redskins have $80 million, because like I said, we spent $7 million to just restructure Ryan Kerrigan. So here's my if you can see the calculator, great. Sometimes it shows up, sometimes it doesn't. So I'm just going to put it right here. So $80 million, okay, is what I have. I don't want to get Emmanuel Sanders. He'll probably call for more money than, he's more money than AJ Green. We need a big receiver. That's why I say draft one. Devin Funchess wouldn't be bad. Amari Cooper, no, he's going to call. He's going to request too much money. Robbie Anderson is the only one I would consider because he is at least decently young receiver. AJ Green's too old. He's but Robbie Anderson's going to cost a lot of money. That's why AJ Green's probably the better fit and probably the pick that the Redskins would go with because he wouldn't cost as much money. So that's the first position, and I really don't think we need to sign a receiver. I think we need to draft receivers. We've been doing really good with receivers in the draft, and we can get a big receiver late in the draft. And if we done what I said last year, which there's a lot of things I said we should do last year, but if we just signed the player I wanted and drafted the player I wanted, we'd have a big receiver right now. I can't think of the guy's name right now. DK Metcalf. That's who I wanted the Redskins to draft. And we could have traded up in the second round and got him. I digress. I'm not going to go too much into it. So, Redskins, tight ends. So, Greg Olsen has visited the Washington Redskins. Apparently, his market $5 million is not bad. So, he's not too expensive. The thing is I don't think I want to have Greg Olsen on the team. He's 35 years old. He's only going to be here for a year. If he's only going to cost like $4 or $5 million, I wouldn't mind that. But I don't want to give him a big contract. Not to mention for him, his best bet is to go. The three teams that are interested in him are the Redskins, the Seattle Seahawks, and the Bills. His best bet is to go to the Seattle Seahawks. Russell Wilson will get on the ball a lot. That's what I recommend for him. I don't think it's the best bet for us. So my best bet, the Redskins need to do one of two things. There's two players that I would go for. Hunter Henry, which his salary is his average annual salary, what he's projected at, is $9 million. Market value, I don't think that's horrible. I don't think that's a horrible value for him. The only apprehension I have about him is he's kind of injury prone. He's gotten injured more the last few years. And then Austin Hooper. I don't mind overspending for a player here because we're going to have them, one of those two, for a couple years, and they're both 25 years old. So if we sign them now, we have them for about the next 4 or 5 years. So let's just say we sign one of them. It doesn't matter which one. Let's just go $9.5 million. Okay, $9.5 million. We get a tight end that we need. Okay, good. Now we're moving on to offensive line. So left tackle. See what's available left tackle. We might just draft one, but I'm going to see what's available left tackle. So you have one here, costing too much. DJ Humphries wouldn't be horrible. Let me see this market value right now. $14 million. I don't hate it because you could probably get him for like 4 or 5 years. There's probably other guys that people were considering that are cheaper. I wouldn't mind Greg Robinson. That's not another bad option. But let's look at right tackles real quick and see what we got with right tackle. So right tackle, Jack Conklin. Let's see what the market value for him is. So to get a viable replacement at tackle, it looks like we're spending about $15 million. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, the Washington Redskins get both. So if the Washington Redskins get both, now they spend $30 million on left tackle and right tackle with two very good offensive linemen. Let's just say that happens. We still have $40 million to fix our defense. We don't have to worry about guard. I mean, we can look, but we don't have to worry about guard. We have to worry about, more or less, we have to worry about safety and strong safety. Okay? Or corner and strong safety. So corner, we have tons of options. One, we have the money to pay any one of these guys. Okay? So we have the money to pay these guys. Rumor has it that I got to find them first. Okay, I'm just going to go down the list here. So let's sort by age, youngest. Okay. So like I said, I like to go young. So Artie Burns, let's see what his market value is. It's not too old, not too young. Man, my internet's being slow right now. Come on. Okay. Eli Apple is not a bad option. Daryl Worley is not a bad option. There's a lot of good options in here. Artie Burns is cheap as hell. I'm just not going to worry about him because he's not the one that I think we're going to get. So let me go by who has a market value. Like I said, Ronald Darby wouldn't have been horrible. Apparently, I can't think of his name. Brandon. I can't think of the guy's name right now. He played for he played for our coach in Carolina. So apparently that's the person that everyone wants to get. I don't think that's the person we need to be going after right now, to be honest. Um, I'm gonna research this real quick because I had a couple guys I had picked. No, I don't want to do that. I'm just go right position. Go. All right, so if we're looking at it like this, Brandon Carr, don't worry about him. Let's go. Let's look at unrestricted free agents. Let's just do that. That might be a little bit better for us to figure it out and narrow it down a little bit better. So unrestricted free agents. Here we go. If it would load. Okay, we got $40.5 million left. Okay, I'm just gonna skip out of this one right now. It's starting to irritate me. Okay, so now safety. So I had a safety that I want, and there's a couple good ones. Von Bell is one, but Carl Joseph is the one that I would really prefer. So let me see his market value. If it's like affordable and it's good money, I mean that's a no-brainer. If we can get him for 4 years, $24 million, that's a no-brainer. I'm sorry, that's no-brainer. I mean, I'm sure there's another safety we could get. I'm trying to see if there's any others here that stand out to me. Von Bell wouldn't be another bad one. Um, I voiced my opinion on this. Let me look at free safety real quick. But otherwise, I mean, if you can get him for $7 million a year, I think that's a good move because we're paying a lot more money to the other safety we have. And I just think it makes sense to just bring him in. He won't cost too much money. I think it's Trey Boston that everyone wants. Maybe Trey Boston's not a bad. I don't dislike either option, but I have a sweet spot for a soft spot for my ex alma mater players. But I'm going to say what the Redskins need to do is they need to go strong safety route, and they get Carl Joseph at the strong safety spot, play him opposite of Landon Collins. So let's say we get them for $7 million, him for $7 million a year. We have $33 million, and we still have to find a cornerback, and we can spend that money on other parts of the team as well. Okay, now we have the luxury of getting a receiver or whatever. Let's bring up cornerbacks. Like I said, my computer is taking its sweet time loading. There we go, cornerbacks. So if we're looking at the cornerbacks, okay, so like I said, Ronald Darby's like I look at age and I look at their production. Okay, so like Eli Apple is a good productive player. Let's see here, Daryl Worley's not horrible. He didn't have any picks though. Brian Pohl wouldn't be a horrible option. 5 hits on the quarterback. A couple Rashad Breeland. Apparently they're going to cut Kendall Fuller or Kendall Fuller, whichever one we traded to the Chiefs, because they're going to give Patrick Mahomes a big extension. There he is, Kendall Fuller. So I would go Kendall Fuller because Kendall Fuller knows the team. He's familiar with the team, so I wouldn't mind getting him. We could probably get him for not a horrible contract either. He wouldn't cost us a lot of $1 million, and he was good when he was here. So there's definitely options we have when it comes to the cornerback position. We could go an expensive route, get a guy who's gonna, not set the market, so to speak, but he's a guy that's gonna cost a lot of money with Eli Apple. Daryl Worley's gonna cost a decent amount of money. I don't think Artie Burns will. Or we can go the route, and I think we should. Honestly think we should do this. Just get 2. So I think we should get spend $10 million, 10 or 12 million on like Eli Apple or something, or the guy that everyone else says. I think it's James Bradbury. That's probably what it is, James Bradbury. We could probably get him, and then we can also get Kendall Fuller on maybe a friendly cheap deal because he's an unrestricted free agent because we got him late in the draft. So let's just say another. So that's $20 million, and then we're looking to get other positions. So we can get a quarterback, build some depth on the offensive line. We don't really need defensive line. Maybe linebackers is not a bad option. So that would be what the Redskins should do. Maybe Dante Fowler wouldn't be horrible. um, but yeah, so that's what I think the Redskins need to do. And like I said, that is a time whenever you've got all your positions pretty much filled for the most part. That's when you go get older guys that will play like for, $8 million for 1 year, and you don't have to worry about them after this season. It's not something you're not super concerned about because you're not stuck in a long-term deal with someone who's diminishing talent-wise. You get the player as they are, and then you can just literally move on from there. Okay. And so let's look at this. So $20 million. So let's just break this down. So what I said, if it shows me accurately, so I said spend 9.5 million on a tight end. Okay, that's the average for Hunter Henry or Austin Hooper. 9.5 million per year. Then I said spend another 30 million on two tackles, a left tackle and a right tackle. If we can get them each for 15 million, if we can get a little bit less than that, great. That leaves us $40 million left. Another $7 million to for the market value. I mean, it's above market value actually for Carl Joseph. So that puts us at $33.5 million. They'll put $10 million into a supposed to be like close to elite corner, and another $3 million to build corner depth with Kendall Fuller. So that's what I'll do, and that still loses $20.5 million to do whatever we want to do with. The Redskins have ample opportunity with this, and like I said, I went highballing a lot of this. You can go 10 million here, 32 million here, 10 million here, and you still have money left over. So that's the thing I like about this is the Washington Redskins. We're hitting a lot of positions, so if we did that, we would fill a lot of positions on the team, which is what I think the Redskins need to do. But again, none of that matters if you don't cut these players over here. So like I said, I'm the GM. This is what I would do right now. So without further ado, I'm going to jump to the draft part. And we're back. We are now at the draft part of the video where it always says set your favorite team, but I guess it just does it automatically. Well, I'm going to draft. So first pick, the Jaguars trade up and they get the first pick, and what they do, they went with a tight end. That's actually pretty weird. But okay. So the Redskins, we can trade back to the 7th pick if we wanted to, which I don't want to do that. We can trade back to the 10th pick, which I don't want to do that. We can do the 12th and 19th pick, which I don't want to do that either. As much as I would like to see the Redskins trade back and get some more stuff, we don't need a lot of stuff. So what we need to do is we need to get the best available player. Best available player right now is Chase Young. He is the best player in this draft. I mean, it makes sense. Okay? So I do want to trade for a couple. I do want to trade for some. I want to trade some team that has a couple second rounders because, like right now, I'm going to keep going. Skip 5 picks. There's a couple guys in this first round I would love to get, but right now I don't have the. I'm not going to trade my picks to get that. I'm going to try to get into the second round where someone has second round picks that I can trade and get maybe 1 or 2 second round picks. I think we're going to trade and get some of those. So if I'm being honest, I think that's what the Redskins are going to do right now. But let's see here. So I'm going to try to trade. Propose a trade. Okay, I get no. So I'm going to let next pick propose trade. See if they how many. Nope, no second rounders. Nope. Next pick. I'm going to start trying to just see if anyone has second round picks, more than one. Nope. Next pick. Propose. Yes, so this is who I want to trade with. I'll give them my first round pick next year. And they can have I'll give my first round pick next year and I get their 2 second round picks right now. Okay, so they took that. That's what I wanted. Good. So now I want to draft an offensive tackle, or I want to draft a tight end. I don't think any tight ends are like going to be available. Okay, that's not a horrible option. Cole Kmet, second round. Don't know if I want to do that right now. I can wait till the 3rd round and get Albert, whatever his name is. So there's definitely options when it comes to tight end. There's also Jake Breland is a late round guy I can get too. There's a lot of tight ends I can get. Thaddeus Moss is another one from LSU I can get. So I'm going to change position real quick See what's the best available right now. So cornerback, I don't want to get that cornerback right now. I'm just right now. I just want to add depth. So if you're asking, like if you're looking at what I'm doing right now, is I want to look at depth. If we wanted to get a receiver, let's see what Justin Jefferson. I'm gonna look at their height, look what their abilities are. I'm pretty sure I know which. Well, that's not too bad. 6'2", and I just need to look at his height. So we need a big receiver. 6'4" is not horrible. So Higgins wouldn't be too bad. We did in free agency get 2 offensive tackles that we know are going to be good. So let's go ahead and draft a receiver right there. We got an A on that. So we have a couple more picks. I may trade back this pick. Just really depends. Skip to my pick. And let's see if anyone offers me anything good. So I can get another second round. Trade back and get an extra third. I don't really need an extra third. I got a pretty good third round pick. I don't need I'll get 2/3. Nah, I'm good. So let's look at offensive tackle. There's definitely options here. Let's see what's available. And I'm not getting, like I said, I'm not getting good options with trades. Offensive guard, I could get one because we didn't sign one. We could still sign one in free agency too. I never thought of that. I didn't think about that till right now. So we have options. So it's definitely a position that I think we'll have more in the third round. So I don't want to get one right now. Is there still a first round tight end? I think we need to wait till the next round to get tight ends. So right now we're kind of getting some luxury picks. Cornerback. So what do we got here? So Shaheem Carter, I know I can get probably in the 4th round. Dang, AJ, no. Damon Arnett, no. There's a lot of options here. Shoot. Strong safety. Nope. I may just have to get the guy I want, or I might just have to trade back. Because the guy I want, I think is going to be a reach right now. Yeah. That's what I have to do. I'm going to have to trade. So I'll take. So this will give me 3 early round picks. That's not bad. I'll take Denver up on their offer. So, all right. So now I have to get an offensive tackle. See if there's one available. Calvin Thorkman or Throckmorton, whatever his name is. There's a lot of options here. Honestly, there's a lot of decent options. But I think I'm going to go with Calvin Throckmorton. But I do want to see what else is available when it comes to the guard position, because I think I'm going to need a guard a little bit more than I'm going to need another left or offensive tackle. So I think I'm going to go with the LSU kid, offensive guard, B+. Okay, so I probably reached a little bit for him, but I have 13. I have a lot of picks in this round. Okay, so now Sheen Carter, I think I can still get in the 4th round, so I'm not going to worry about him right now. Change position, tight end. Okay, so we've kind of messed around with this a little bit. I think I'm going to go one more pick without getting him. I think I'm going to get Thaddeus Moss in the late rounds too. Yeah, I don't want to go that route. Wide receiver, Tariq Black is still available, I believe. Yeah, he's still available. Okay. So, dang. Now I know how hard GMs have it. Okay, so I have middle linebacker I can get. We don't really need a middle linebacker, but I can get a middle linebacker. Outside linebacker, we could maybe use some depth there. I'm going to take Tontavious Jackson. I know he's going to be a solid player in the next level. I think he has a lot of those intangibles that a lot of teams look for. Tight end. Okay, I'm going to get the tight end that I want. You know what? I'm going to just not take a risk on it. I need to get a high ranking tight end. And I'll explain why here in a minute. So I'm going to go with this guy. I've had my eye on him the entire off season. He's been highly ranked. And I'll probably get another tight end. And the reason why I'll probably get another tight end is because Shaheem Carter, is he not available anymore? Okay, someone drafted him. Son of a gun. You son of a bee. Okay. So, okay. Free safety, free safety, free safety. Okay, let's see if there's any best available right now. Defensive tackle. Okay, second. Okay, day 2 offensive tackle kind of falls. I think I'm gonna have to take that. Let me see what else is available. Now again, here's the thing. I just did our free agency, and our free agency basically showed us we have a lot of flexibility when it comes to the draft. We can get like we can take risks on players. We can draft for not exactly needs, but just to add depth to positions. So that's the benefit of what I did when it came to the free agency. This is why free agency is kind of important to me. Is the Redskins can really add a lot of depth at positions. They can add depth at um, and this is why, like, good teams, like, they have a lot of draft picks and they take advantage of this. Tyke Black, I can still get him one more round. So I'm going to wait because I have other needs. So I've drafted, like, 2 offensive linemen that probably won't play this year, but if injuries happen, and it's going to happen. They're going to need to be thrown in. So, okay. Dang, this is, like, tricky. So I don't have any 6th-round picks, so can I trade back? Running back. Cam Akers. Nah, I'm not really hell-bent on any of these running backs. Okay. All right, so what are my needs right now? It says inside linebacker. I don't believe them when they say inside linebacker. Just being honest. So I'm going to go cornerback route. Let's see what's available at corner. We're in day 3, so we're not getting any. I'm going to see what the best available is, just for the sake of looking. Defensive tackle. That might be our best bet right now. I don't want to get another tight end. I just drafted one, and I have a tight end I can get later that I think would be a better option, and he's less risky. Tight end, outside linebacker, running back, receiver. I'm going to go with defensive tackle. We need to help a little bit of more depth on the defensive line. It's not the best pick I could have taken at the moment, but I think that's a good option to have. Free safety. I think we're getting into the later rounds of the draft, so let's see what other gems have fallen. We don't really need depth right now. That's the thing. We don't need to add depth to a lot of positions right now. That's the thing. Okay, and the guy I wanted the draft got taken. Son of a gun. Okay. Shoot. Alright, let's see how Joe Reed. Technically we already drafted a receiver, so I might not have to get another receiver. Alright. Okay. I think we're lading up the draft. It's not too much of a reach for me to draft this guy. Thaddeus Moss. It's probably going to get me. I got an A out of it, so I'm fine with it. And so what are we looking for these last 5 picks? I like to get a running back at least. So let's look at running back real quick. I doubt there's any available that I'm really going to want. Okay, so one that I want is kind of available, so I think I'll take him a little bit later, though. All right, so let's add some depth to cornerback. Actually, let's look at free safety. So we have 2 from Clemson. Do I want to draft a Clemson secondary guy? Oh man, this is a tough decision. I'm gonna go Jordan Fuller. Okay, getting him that late, I think there's more value. I've done drafts before where I kind of reach for him in the 3rd round. I think getting him that late is actually a little bit better. And I think that the running back that I want to get, I can get in the last pick in the draft, my last pick. So cornerback, people want to sign AJ Green. Let's just draft an AJ Green. Yeah, let's just do that. And then the last pick, running back, if he's available. Nope, he's gone. What the heck? Someone drafted him right before me. Literally the pick before me drafted Feaster. I wanted to draft me a Feaster. Okay. So, okay. Joshua Kelly. Let's just go with him. Okay, so complete draft. So my draft grade was a B plus. So the Washington Redskins, so in this offseason, like I said, this is me being a GM. This is my 1 year fix for the Washington Redskins. We got rid of a bunch of players, got our cap space up to $80 million by restructuring Kerrigan, cutting, trading Alex Smith and Trent Williams, and then cutting obviously Norman and Paul Richardson, and then cutting Morgan Moses and Jordan Reed. So we got $80 million in cap space. With that $80 million, we got a tight end and either Austin Hooper or Hunter Henry. We got two tackles left and right that we can sign for long-term deals, like 3, 4, maybe 5-year deals. They're still kind of young players. If we only want to go one on that, and we could, but we have the cap space, so why not fill the spot? And then we have the money to go get a good tight end, or I'm sorry, a good safety. We can get a really good a safety that has a decent value that wouldn't cost too much money, to me at least. And Carl Joseph, and then cornerback we have options. We can go Kendall Fuller and get like depth there. We can go Brad. I think his name is Bradbury. He played for Carolina, so I think that's going to help us as well. And then after all that, we still have cap space left over where we can grab some luxury things like maybe a big receiver. Maybe there's a running back and a free agency that we could get, so on and so forth. And then with the draft, like I said, I didn't trade down. What it is, I traded in the second round and took some picks from Miami to leverage to get more picks this year. So, like for example, I drafted Chase Young, and like I said, that's a luxury pick because we have the positions we need filled. That just bolsters our defensive line, and we're going to wreak havoc on teams with that. T. Higgins from Clemson, the big receiver, 6'4", that we needed. We need a big physical receiver. Lloyd Cushenberry III, center, either or guard from LSU. Like I said, it's just depth. Outside linebacker, Travaris Jackson. This is depth. I drafted two tight ends. Albert, I'm not pronouncing that last name, Okuwagabunum, who has been on my radar, and then Thaddeus Moss. Here's why I drafted two, and I said I explained this. Is I drafted two because the Washington Redskins have been getting tight ends have been injured very frequently with the Washington Redskins. So right now we have Jeremy Sprinkle. We're probably going to sign like some guy to a cheap deal. What's the name? Hester, I think is his name. And then we're gonna sign a guy in free agency, a good one, and then we draft two. So we're gonna have depth at the tight end position in case we get injured. That's why I did that. Calvin Throckmorton, offensive tackle from Oregon. He's a day 2 guy. Fell to the 4th round. We were able to pick him up. Andre Solomon, defensive tackle from Tennessee. He's just going to help bolster that defensive line. Why not even make the team? Because that's how good our defensive line is. Jordan Fuller, he can play in the secondary, free safety or safety, just adding depth. We can get rid of some of the guys that have been on our team for a while that haven't produced. AJ Green, cornerback for Oklahoma State, and then Joshua Kelly, running back for UCLA, and future draft picks. We don't have a first-round pick next year, but we still have a first-round pick in 2020. Now, in 2022. I'm sorry. Now we traded two players. So we traded two players in the offseason. We traded Trent Williams and we traded Alex Smith. So my assumption is we got a second-round pick from that, and maybe at least a second rounder from Trent Williams. So we might not have to trade that first round pick next year to get 2 picks in the second round. Okay, so but that's just a very simple breakdown of what everything the Washington Redskins has done. That is a 1-year fix. We have a new coach, we have a new system, we have a new mentality, we have a solid defensive line. We've added to the secondary. We've added the linebacking core. Really doesn't need a lot of adding to. We just got to make sure we're healthy in the linebacking core, because right now our linebacking core is like our defensive line would be Chase Young at one end. What's that kid? Montez Sweat at the other. And so you're going to play Jonathan. You're going to play Payne and Ioannidis at the defensive tackle positions. Okay, so you got Jonathan Allen at outside linebacker. Okay, you got middle linebacker is going to be either Cole Holcomb or shoot, lost train of thought. You might play Kerrigan at defensive end and just put a Montez Sweat at outside linebacker, but you can do it either way. It doesn't matter. We have depth, so we have options. We have depth there. But I would play Ryan Kerrigan down, and I would put Montez Sweat at a stand-up position more than I would do the other way around. But if you just had Kerrigan for depth, that wouldn't be bad either. So you have Reuben Foster and Cole Holcomb as your middle linebackers. Then you have Ryan Anderson as like a luxury piece at the other linebacking spot. And then you draft Dontavius Jackson. You're just bolstering that position. Your quarterbacks would be Dunbar, and I guess Kendall Fuller or Bradbury, whatever route we would decide to go. We have so many options when it comes to our team. So that is my video. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you have any comments on that, comment in the section down below. This is just what I would do if I was GM. And like I said, I haven't even spent. If you look at the calculator, I don't know if the calculator showed up or not. With all the things I mentioned, we had $20 million left over we could spend to get an extra receiver, get another offensive lineman, get another tight end. So we could get Greg Olsen if we wanted to, and he might make the 53-man roster or whatever. So we can do all those things, and we have money left over. So that's what I wanted to show with this video. That's what I would do as the Washington Redskins GM. I would make an attempt to do all these things. I hope we get a GM that's that aggressive. I really do. But this is JD. This is Redskins Rant. Hail to the Redskins. And that's it. See ya.